Granada Goals Extra. Today's action from the Granada region, sponsored by Elf Petrols and Oils.
On Granada Goals Extra, the Reds rule again on Merseyside. Captain Marvel saves United at the death. It's another black day for Rovers. But Bolton are off the mark in Division 3. Hello again. The first key Saturday of the new season, especially at the top of Division 1. Let's start our review of the action at Anfield with the 145th Merseyside derby between Liverpool and Everton. Well, the two managers wouldn't promise many goals on Granada tonight last night with Elton, but Liverpool provided 3, Everton only 1. Burrows in the 48 seconds, Saunders and Houghton, Mike Newell close to the end. Let's hear the details of the goals from Clive Tilsley.
Steve McManaman. Nickel. That's awkward. Saunders trying to get there. Almost came for Walters. Turned away as far as David Burrows. It's there! 48 seconds. Steve McManaman. Mark Walters. Only Saunders in the middle. Only Saunders necessary. The Dean Saunders Roadshow is off and running. Lovely passing. Well seen by Dave Watson. Burrows though. He's played Houghton into space. Onside Ray Houghton. 3-0 Liverpool. Ward. Beardsley. Mike Newell. Now, is this the chance for some consolation for Mike Newell? Yes, it is.
And just to emphasise, you can see extended highlights on the Granada match at 11 tonight, and a great game it was. Next to news of league leaders Manchester United at home to Leeds. Well, Leeds were leading all the way through, but Brian Robson proved his value yet again to United with a goal in the last minute. The details on that match, Robert McCaffrey.
The sun's shining at Old Trafford in more ways than one at the moment. 4 out of 4 clean sheets suggest a new confidence at the back where Peter Schmeichel has been outstanding. But it was a stunned silence that greeted his rush of blood after 7 minutes. Less of a surprise, Lee Chapman on the end of the cross. Alex Ferguson's made it clear United have to get results against the so-called big sides, as he put it. Schmeichel did enough this time to put off Gary's speed, whose toe poke was too much. United were coming back into the game. Gary Pallister's presence on the far post almost engineered an opening. Paul Ince had gone off injured and Ryan Giggs was on up front. Tony Dorigo caught in 2 minds and Leeds were almost caught cold. Little deflection, enough to save Dorigo's red face. The first half lasted 49 minutes. 4 minutes into the second, Mark Hughes drifted clear of his shadow Chris White and threaded a perfect ball through to Ryan Giggs. Beat the offside trap. Couldn't beat John Lukic. United's best chance had gone begging. All credit to Giggs, he was popping up everywhere. White and McClelland just couldn't pinpoint his runs. Lukic this time needed to react smartly. Leeds had shut up shop. Having decided to do it, they did it effortlessly with a minimum of fuss. Mark Hughes couldn't control his first real chance. The Hughes-White confrontation, as good as anything in the game, possibly the key to the game. Hughes was looking for a penalty. He felt White was looking for 3 falls or a submission. That really summed it up. United just weren't getting the run. Minutes left. Blackmore almost got them on level terms, but it was left to Brian Robson. Who else to salvage the point and the pride? Almost from nothing, McClare's first effort saved. Robson's follow-up was in. United saving their unbeaten record, 1-1.
Well, not far away to Manchester City. Their brief reign at the top was ended by United this week. Another searching examination for the Blues at champions Arsenal today. And it didn't go too well for them, although Robbie Brightwell, son of Ian Brightwell, son of Robbie Brightwell and Anne Packer, that's appropriate, this weekend of World Athletics. He put them in the lead in the first half, but then it went down all the way for City. Alan Smith and then Andres Limpar scored those goals that meant City come back from Arsenal with no points at all. Bad day for City. Now, the fixture computer did Oldham no favour at all with their early away games, which resulted, as you'll know, in narrow defeats at Liverpool and Manchester United. Today they face another difficult game, a trip at Nottingham Forest. With the details on that one in a moment, I can just tell you that Ian Marshall was the only scorer for Oldham. He scored it early in the second half, but it was too late by then for Oldham to do anything. Here's the details from Bill Arthur.
Oldham were under pressure from the word go at the City Ground. Forest's Roy Keane had a clear chance after 10 minutes, but his shot was weak. 7 minutes later, some slick Forest footwork undid the Oldham defence again, but Haller just did enough to put Keane off on this occasion. Forest carved open Oldham's defence once more on the half hour, and this time Scott Gemmell applied the finishing touch to Gary Charles's cross. Oldham had to wait until the 38th minute for their first shot of the game, and it was well wide from Tony Henry. Forest's second goal came 4 minutes before half-time, third time lucky for Roy Keane from Nigel Jemson's cross. Joe Royal's half-time talk jogged Oldham into life. 5 minutes after the restart, Ian Marshall pulled a goal back, heading in Neil Adams' towering cross. But the Latics soon dozed off again, and Forest skipper Stuart Pearce, sent off in midweek, took advantage, finishing from Scott Gemmell's chip to make it 3-1. Ian Marshall tried to launch a late Oldham rally, but when he got round the back of the Forest defence, Gary Charles was there to clear the danger.
And of course we meant to say Nick Henry in that game. Now let's check the top of Division 1. And it's still Manchester United, 11 points from 5. Liverpool there now, 10 from 5. Man City, 10 from 5. All top 3 from the Northwest. How long will that last? All season maybe? Now, Division 2 leaders this morning were Ipswich Town. Their early performances, a sharp contrast with Blackburn Rovers' nightmare start. The result there today, Blackburn 1, very late. Ipswich 2, the details, Alistair Mann.
Craig Forrest will kick long. Playing towards Kiwomya. Just enough distraction by Moran. It's forward and the hands are going up, but Kiwomya's in and Kiwomya scores and Ipswich take the lead. Well, the hands went up for offside. I think at worst he was in line and the goal stands and Ipswich Town have the lead. It's into the path of Goddard now. Can they keep their heads? They can. Kiwomya's in again. Good save. Bobby Mims out quickly. And Ipswich close to taking a 2-goal lead. Goddard asking Kiwomya to run again, and he's got the pace to do so. Now, has he got much support? Witten. Well, that's a lovely dummy. Goddard. And Goddard, who started it off, finishes the move. And the troubles mount for Blackburn Rovers. So another corner in towards Gale, and that's looped off the top of the bar, and Speedy knocks in the rebound, and it's 2-1. Is the time left for an equaliser?
There wasn't, in fact, but there is time for the 2 other results from Division 2. Here they are. And Grimsby Town 2, Tranmere Rovers 2, and that man John Aldridge, which is 9 goals in 5 games, and I make that to be just over £25,000 a goal. He must be revelling in this Spanish-type summer that we're having over here. And Port Vale still finding it difficult to score many goals this season. They drew 1-1. Brian Mills scored for them. Nicky Morgan for Bristol City. But now we move on to Division 3. Bolton was looking for their first league win against Leyton Orient. And in fact, they got it with that 1 goal from David Reeves in the 49th minute. Here the details is Bill Arthur.
It was Leyton Orient who had the early chances in the game against Bolton. Chris Bart-Williams breaking through after only 5 minutes, but his shot was cleared. Then, from a free kick, another Orient opportunity. The ball cleared to the edge of the Bolton area, where Ricky Otto was waiting, and his shot just hit the foot of the post and ricocheted clear. Then, on the half hour, Orient came again. This time it was Andy Sayer breaking through and beating the Bolton offside trap, but his shot went just wide of the target. Bolton survived all that and then took the lead early in the second half. It was Michael Brown with the run down the right-hand side. His cross found David Reeves on the far post, and his shot just crept inside Paul Newell's near post.
More Division 3 results now. First, Chester City 2, Swansea 2. Interesting story there because Graham Abel scored for Chester in the 56th minute, And then on came Brian Croft as substitute. He turned the game. He made the other goal for Neil Morton. Confirmed 2-0 that score. Peterborough 3, Stoke City. I beg your pardon. Peterborough 1, Stoke City 1. Kimball for Peterborough, and then Wayne Biggins, who'd scored earlier for Stoke, but not a good result for Stoke there. Reading 3, Bury 2. 65-minute Bury equaliser, Peter Valentine, and then Nigel Smith for Bury late on. Too late to snatch it because two very late goals came from McPherson and McGee for Reading. West Bromwich Albion 1, Wigan Athletic 1. But now we stay with that division. Last night, Stockport County went top of the third division with victory over North West rivals Preston North End. Final score was 2-0. Goals from Tony Barros and Jim Gannon. It's Alistair Mann again.
With an air of optimism about Stockport County this season, a crowd of 5,500 showed at Edgeley Park to watch Tony Barris's second attempt give them the lead after just 8 minutes. Despite a first-round Rumbelows Cup exit at Bradford City in midweek, hopes are very high that Danny Begara's side possess the qualities for promotion again this season. Certainly their finishing doesn't need pepping up. Jim Gannon's 41st minute strike, worth seeing again. After a 5-0 home thrashing of Swansea City on the opening day and 2 up before half-time, you could forgive the Stockport fans expecting more goals in the second half. Kevin Francis was the closest to adding. Final score, Stockport 2, Preston 0.
Well, let's see if Stockport are still on top after today. Here's a look at the top of the third division. They're not. Stockport are second, the only Northwest side among the top 6. Let's move on to results from Division 4. Starting with Blackpool, who won 2-1 today. Own goal, Stuart Hicks, and then Paul Groves, 82 minutes. John Buckley scored for Scunthorpe. Doncaster 1, Burnley 4. A lot going on there. In fact, we had Burnley penalty in the first minute from Mike Conroy. He scored later in the 85th minute, and goals from Harper and Yates made it a good win there for Burnley. Rochdale 1, Lincoln 1. Rochdale 1, Lincoln 0, I should say. And then... And there we go with the first goal. It's penalty incident, 16th minute. John Ryan's pulled down. Red card for Grant Brown, he goes off. Andy Flounder with the penalty. He cost them £80,000. That made it 1-0. Another sending off later on. We'll move on to the next result. It's Rotherham 1, Crewe Alexandra 2. Just time to tell you that a reminder of the Merseyside derby topping the bill on the Granada match at 11 tonight, plus highlights of Arsenal versus Manchester City and more First Division action on Soccer Night next Wednesday at 20:11. Quick look now at the other headlines around the country. John Bond's Shrewsbury boys, they scored 6.
Mark Walters. Only Saunders in the middle. Only Saunders necessary.
The name is Bond.